you think that because Kyle Larson isn't going to race the Chili Bowl this year, do you think people will stay home and not go to the races as much because Kyle's not going to be racing? What's your thoughts on that?
No, not at all. I think it's I hate that you're losing a really, really good car,
Right.
and you are losing a really, really good car. But I think the beauty of open wheel fans, midget fans, sprint car fans is if this is let me do a comparison.
All right.
Last week at Florence Motor Speedway, there was a whole bunch of fans that went there to see Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Dale Earnhardt Jr. only.
Mm-hmm.
And if Dale Earnhardt Jr. would have crashed out of that thing halfway through, you'd have seen a whole series of red taillights out of the parking lot,
right,
because they were there to see Dale Jr. What I love about midget fans and sprint car fans is, yeah, they might be a Larson person. They might like Kyle Larson, but they're going to be happy to see, if Sunshine gets in there or Justin Grant gets in there and mixes it up. Christopher Bell, we know he's going to be good. Rico's going to be good. Tanner Thorson won it last year. I think that's the beauty of the midget and sprint car fan is that, probably a little disappointed that Larson's not going to be there, but there's still plenty of things, plenty of drivers to keep an eye on and see if someone else doesn't step up in there and with one less competitive car at the front of the field, see if someone else doesn't step up there and see what they can do with it. I don't sense much of a fall off with it.
Yeah. Do you feel that other drivers feel like they might have a chance that Larson's not there?
If he would have taken Christopher Bell with him,
maybe
then maybe
yeah.
and face it, I think if you're sitting there, there's one less car at the front of the field that you're going to have to contend with, but there's still 8 or 10 cars that are always up at the front of that field. And so I don't know how big that is. There probably will be an impact of one less guy that they're going to have to deal with at the front. But I don't sense that it's a huge that it's going to be the sole difference of someone going and not going to it.
Yeah.
I still think it's just the event. I still think and I think if you're that top 10 or 12 cars, yeah, you might have a little bit better shot at winning the race. I think if you're one of those cars beyond the top 10 or 12, your goal is to crack into the top 10 or 12, maybe sneak out of there with a top 5 finish. And without Larson there, it might be a little easier to do that. But it's just such but still, the event is still the event, and it's just always awesome out there in Tulsa. It really is.
Yeah, no doubt. Before we let you go, Steve, it's a big weekend in St. Louis. The Castrol Gateway Dirt Nationals is going to be taking place this weekend. Unfortunately, they're not going to be running the midgets anymore. They're going to just be running the UMP late models, or UMP modifieds, and the super late models down there. What are your thoughts about this race at the Dome at America Center?
This thing is really evolving, and I'm bummed that the midgets are not there. Although I don't know, did it ever really take off? It just
fizzled out.
I'm going to save it for the Chili Bowl. No, I'm going to save it for the Chili Bowl. I don't know that it ever took off, and I think they probably were like, well, let's just find our own lane here. And this is such a weird dynamic with these super late models that we see just flying around racetracks, like Eldora and like Port Royal, these big half-mile racetracks.
Right. And
here you see them just beating the crap out of each other inside this dome. I just think it's a fun event. I think that it's kind of growing on the late model side into that off-season tradition that the super late models have at the Snowball Derby, that the midget crowd and sprint car crowd has at the Chili Bowl. They're kind of carving out their own little niche there. Now there's another race. XR has a race this week down in Florida as well. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be a little bit of a split field. But man, if we've seen anything this year, we've seen split late model fields, and yet we've learned that Both fields will be stout. Both fields will be good. But yeah, this indoor race has been fun. I'm like I said, I'm not much of a TV guy, but probably the way this weekend unfolds with some music and things like that, I'm going to do. I probably get a chance to watch some of this on pay-per-view, and looking forward to it. It's a really neat deal. I like the way the guys come in. The guys come in with a little attitude, a little swagger to them. The driver intros and everything.
Yeah,
and it's just a fun race, that's for sure.
What do you got coming up on Wing Nation?
Well, we're down for the season, so really right now what we're working on is just catching our breath as far as that goes. But we've Craig, my producer, and you know Craig real well.
Probably, he's a great
one
guy.
of the hardest working guys in the sport.
Yeah,
he's got everything. We've got a YouTube page, and we've got our Facebook page, and so we're just kind of doing a little social media with it, re-airing some of the other things, and catching our breath, if you will. We'll start back the end of January, the first week of February, and get started back with that. But right now, just enjoying a little downtime, watching the schedule releases. We had the World of Outlaws yesterday. The All-Stars just released their schedule, and now starting to dream about where the airplanes or cars will take me next year. But just kind of in a chill mode right now for Wing Nation.
Did you tell me in a text earlier that this was last weekend was your 158th race?
Yeah, I've done something really stupid this year. Is that I decided to chase races, and I will not do this again. But I'm at 158, and there's 2 more races at Millbridge, and then we've got another little dirt track here called East Lincoln that has like a 4-cylinder street stock race this Sunday. So I've got 3 options to get to 160, or if I end up at 161. I don't know where this obsession came from. I used to do it a lot when I was in upstate New York and Pennsylvania, and I would get to the 120s and 130s up there and thought I was doing something. But this year, I hit it right. But when you think about it, with doing 25 NASCAR Cup races, you throw in another 25 Xfinity or truck races, and then by the time we do those 3 race weekends with trucks or ARCA series, I probably have 75 races I do with MRN. I do the 10 summer shootout races. I do Tuesday nights at Millbridge. And so, I'm probably pretty close to triple digits with just my core, what I do. But this year I just hit it good with a lot of other one-off races and Saturday nights on the road and various other things. But I think this will be my high water mark. I don't know that I'm tired. I'm ready for a weekend or 2 at the house maybe next year.